Is the end of Facebook ads approaching? If you want to find out, keep on watching. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Jaime and I'm the proud owner of a social media marketing agency, transforming online brands into market leaders. Today I've got a very special and urgent video for you guys. And if you haven't been watching the news over the past few days, Facebook is in a bit of a tough position. And the reason being is that large corporations are quitting Facebook ads. They're boycotting the Facebook platform. They are doing this in an attempt to stop hate under a stop hate for profit movement. And I thought it was my duty to tell you guys how this affects you right now, as well as your agency, give you quite a lot of information as to what is happening, and most importantly, how to prep for the future and how this may affect if you're running a social media marketing agency, and especially if you're offering Facebook ads for clients, and if potentially you're also running an e-commerce business, how this may affect your business right now. So a lot of juicy information, and this is a must watch for agency owners to make sure that you are ready for the future, because there's a lot of things changing and happening moving forward due to this movement. So really excited for this. I really hope you guys find this of value. What my team and I have gone ahead and done is we've put together a little slideshow for you guys to make sure that you can really visualize this, and maybe you can grab a pen and take a few notes, because this is going to be incredibly valuable. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So companies boycotting Facebook, could it kill them? Is this the end of Facebook? And what does it mean for you? So let's get started. In this presentation, I will cover what happened, why it's happening, and how you should plan for right now as well as for the future. And we give you a plan of attack and what this means for your agency in the future. So here is what we're gonna cover. The first thing is what happened and why advertisers are boycotting Facebook and what that looks like. The second thing is companies pulling out, a list of companies pushing the pause button on Facebook advertising. The third thing is what it means, who the Facebook boycott is actually hurting, the effect of the boycott now and in the near future for agencies, and if you also have an e-commerce business, then for your business as well. And the final thing is a little bonus on how to prep for the future, why digital marketing is shifting and how to stay ahead of the curve. And this is going to be an insanely valuable little module in this presentation. So what happened and why? Little background info for you guys, for those of you who don't really watch the news. To be quite frank, I don't really watch the news either, but obviously I do keep up with social media marketing trends and all that stuff, and I recommend you guys do that as well, because obviously it's part of our job for our clients. So the boycott as a political tool. In history, boycotts were used in pressure for political changes. Now, what's happened is that major companies following the latest movement are stopping advertising spend on Facebook. Obviously, this also includes Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and obviously Facebook. So what's this whole movement about? It's called #StopHateForProfit. And basically companies feel like Facebook is not doing enough to stop hate on their platform. And so basically they're claiming that Facebook isn't doing enough to remove hateful racist content from the platform. And so they're telling major companies to pause Facebook advertising. And obviously there's a lot of societal pressure, especially nowadays on social media, on companies, especially from movements, right? And a lot of companies do not want to be on the wrong side of that, especially if it's for such a good cause. So that is that. And the final thing is companies pulling out. So this actually convinced some major companies to stop advertising on Facebook, which we'll share with you in just a second. And the share price actually dropped 8%, so quite a lot. Now, here are a list of companies pulling out, just to give you guys a bit of an idea of the extent of this movement. We've got Starbucks, who's the 6th largest advertiser on Facebook. We've got Coca-Cola, another major spender. We've got Ben & Jerry's. We've got Unilever. We've got motor companies such as Ford, Honda. We've got outdoor retailers like North Face, Patagonia, REI. And we've got sportswear like Adidas and Puma, and tech companies like Verizon, Microsoft, Upwork, Patreon, HP, etc., etc. So that's a list of companies pulling out. And the next thing is dropping a big thumbs up. Speaking of algorithms and platforms, YouTube just loves when that thing turns blue, so I really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. So what it means now and in the future. Here is a little breakdown on some of the things that you can expect from this movement and what is happening right now with Facebook, the Facebook boycott. So first of all is the Facebook ad revenue. Around 98% of Facebook's revenue comes directly from ad spend. So we've got $70 billion in 2019. And the funny thing is that the high spending 100 brands spend 6% of Facebook ad revenue. And this is usually the case in business, where the top 0.1% of the brands actually spend more than 50 to even 60% of the other brands combined. We've also got medium-sized companies. The vast majority haven't signed up many businesses can't afford not to advertise on Facebook, and they depend on cheaper and more focused Facebook ads. And so look, it's no secret that for Starbucks or Coca-Cola or Ford or Unilever, pulling out of Facebook advertising is not a smart business move, but culturally and for the culture of the company, and also to support a very good cause, it is obviously the move to make. But those are big companies that have other avenues of growth, of customers, of revenue. But for a lot of medium-sized companies where a lot of their traffic and customers come from purely just Facebook ads, they're probably not going to be able to follow suit and actually pull out of Facebook advertising. So that is one big thing to keep in mind. This obviously does not apply to all brands out there, but it's still a big hit for Facebook. The second thing is continue to advertise. So access to highly targeted audiences will keep businesses on Facebook. Smaller companies who join the boycott will actually hurt their bottom line more than Facebook. And that is a big thing to keep in mind as well, right? That, as I said, small to medium-sized companies are probably not going to be pulling out of advertising. And I will actually tell you in just a second why this might be beneficial for small to medium-sized companies, the fact that the big players are pulling out of advertising. And I'll show you that in just a second. And the reason why that is because it leads to cheaper advertising costs. Why? Because there's less demand for advertising, which reduces advertising costs. Since 6% of Facebook ads revenue has literally vanished, now the costs are going to be lower, the cost of advertising are going to be lower because there's less demand for advertising. But there's still the same demand from the user perspective, but when it comes to supply, there's still the same supply of eyeballs on social media. So obviously the advertising costs are going to be reduced, which actually favors small to medium-sized companies. And this is really important stuff to keep in mind if your clients come to you right now and you're doing Facebook ads for them and they show doubt or they're uncertain as to what's going to happen with Facebook ads. You need to absolutely make them understand that you're probably going to see a reduction in advertising costs because the big players have literally pulled out and taken a large cut of Facebook ads revenue with them. So that's really the first thing. And the second thing that I want you to keep in mind when it comes to the benefits of big players pulling out of Facebook advertising is what I call the spotlight effect. And so what happens is as big brands pull out, and we actually saw this with the pandemic where a lot of brands also pulled out simply because of cash flow issues or whatever it was. They pulled out, and what happened is that it's never been easier for small to medium-sized brands to stand out from the noise and get an edge. And the reason why that is because if a big player in their space pulls out, now the spotlight is on the brand that's still advertising, right? And the brand that's advertising is also getting lower advertising costs. So they can actually either increase the spend or keep it at the same, but they're going to reach more people. So you've got this spotlight effect. And it's one of the things that you could communicate to your client. And the reason why this may be a good opportunity for small to medium-sized players advertising on Facebook. And the final thing is a little bonus for you guys, for you agency owners, on how to prepare for the future. And this is massive if you want to be successful, especially when it comes to e-commerce and advertising for e-commerce businesses on Facebook and other platforms as well. So the first thing is getting serious. Big companies are pulling out, but that does not mean small companies will do the same. The vast majority of business depend on agencies and Facebook advertising. And so you're probably not going to be matched with a decrease in demand for Facebook ads as of yet, but there might be a bit of mass hysteria, a bit of doubt when it comes to whether Facebook advertising is still big, is still important, because a lot of small to medium-sized companies look up to the big brands, and if the big brands do not believe in Facebook advertising, that could have a snowball effect where small to medium-sized companies tend to mimic those big brands. And not so much because of the movement per se, but more because the big brands have lost faith on Facebook. The second thing is the initial service offering. So I've said this plenty of times in my channel, and I will continue to say it. You need to get creative when it comes to your value offering. Yes, you could still offer Facebook ads initially. It may become a bit more challenging, and not so much because of this movement, but simply because most agencies out there, especially the ones that are starting out, also offer Facebook ads. And there's still a huge demand for Facebook ads, but you need to get creative. And what I mean by that is you need to change the value offering. You need to find a way to make it incredibly attractive for businesses. Make it almost a no-brainer offer. And what I mean by this is you could offer a money-back guarantee, you could offer a paid trial period, you could offer a percentage of profit, you could offer a result-oriented pricing structure. The key here is to get creative with your value offering and not just do Facebook ads, right? Yes, the service can still be the same, but you need to find your specific value offering to stand out from the noise. Another thing you may consider is you might want to change your front end offer. And what I mean by that, and I've said this plenty of times on my channel as well, is that if you're doing e-commerce, if you're helping e-commerce businesses scale online or increase their sales online, what you can do is you can change up your front end offer. And instead of offering Facebook ads, you can offer TikTok ads or email marketing or messenger chatbots, whatever you want to do. The key is to just get them through the door with one front end offer. And once you're in their ecosystem and you add a ton of value to them, constantly find ways to add more value to them and in turn increase your value, which in turn increases your monthly retainer, right? So if you get them through the door with messenger chatbots or email marketing, once you're in their ecosystem, then later on, once they see how you work and the type of results you can get them, then it's much easier to actually get them enrolled onto other online services, like for example, Facebook ads. So that's really the second thing that you want to keep in mind, that the initial service offering might have to change in terms of your different value offering. So you could still offer Facebook ads, but just change up your value offering and get creative. Or on the flip side, you can offer something else on the front end that's not purely Facebook ads. And then later on, you could offer Facebook ads once you're in their ecosystem with another service. So that's really the second thing you want to consider. And the final thing is you want to prepare for a 360 marketing approach. And this is the key. If you take anything away from this presentation, guys, is this thing right here, which is you want to prepare for 360 marketing approach. The digital marketing sphere is changing, and this is one of the things you need to keep in mind. You need to understand consumer behavior and market trends outside of Facebook. Relying purely on Facebook ads, both as an agency and also as a business, does not fly anymore. It could have in 2017, in 2015, absolutely yes, right? But in 2020 and moving forward, it does not cut it anymore. You need to understand, as I said, consumer behavior. You need to learn about other platforms and building brands online. Not just the Facebook ad side of things, right? You need to learn about online advertising, sales funnels. You need to learn about email marketing, how to actually create an incredible customer journey, etc., etc. And so the same way brands can rely on Facebook ads, agencies should be ready and able to pivot their value offering at any point. And that is the key that I want you guys to take away from this video, is that yes, the platforms may change and you might be offering Facebook ads right now and it can still be incredibly profitable, and it will be for the next few years. That is my guess from understanding the market. But you need to be ready to pivot at any moment. And not only that, but you need to have a core understanding of how online advertising works and how to build a brand online, especially if you're doing e-commerce, right? So your knowledge should not be capped to the extent of how much you know about Facebook ads, how much you actually know about how to grow an online brand. So guys, that is that for this video and this presentation. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Also leave down below in the comments any questions you may have on this video. What is your opinion on the situation? What do you think is going to happen with Facebook? How do you think Facebook is going to bounce back from this? Let me and the community know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Final thing, guys, if you haven't joined the free private mentor community on Facebook, the Client Closers, it's an incredible community full of like-minded people looking to scale their agency and level up in life. And in that group, we talk all about the latest trends. For example, e-commerce growth hacks, right? We talk about online advertising. We talk about sales, how to sign more clients for your agency. We talk about team building. We talk about prospecting and so much more. So if you want to join the group, go ahead and apply. And if you're a good fit, we will let you in. And as always, guys, hope everything's going well in your agency journey. Hopefully you can implement some of the stuff that I covered here. Also, do not forget to be proactive with communication and let your clients know what has happened with Facebook, or if it does come up, make sure you're on the ball and you let them know some things that they can expect. You can take some of the things that I covered in this video. And with that being said, I will see you on the next one. Peace.